here we have the Edison 25 automatic defrost dehumidifier with automatic shut off. In this wonderful wood grain here. I just got this. I haven't tested it or done anything to it. I'm assuming it works. It's old enough where it should work. Although I do notice here, if you can see this, it's copying General Electric and using epoxy instead of soldered fittings. No. It has the bucket here, which is one of the main reasons I got it. Oh, look at this. Important. Dehumidifier is designed to be used with a humidity level within a comfort zone. Okay. Let's see here. Edison WC Wood Company. Never heard of them. This is model DHE25W. Oh, hey, look, it's got, it's R12. Contains CFC 12, so that's good. It's R12. 05, no, that can't be right. Oh, 95, okay. This is a bit late for the wood grain styling. I would have thought this is from the 80s and R12. But there you go. Wait, this says R500. What the hell is R500? I'm gonna have to look that one up. Okay, focus. Here's the information on R500. It says it is a CFC refrigerant. It says over here that it is a mixture of R12 and R152A. So that's cool. R152A is, of course, that's what I use in my cars. Pretty much anything that's designed to run an R12 will also perform pretty damn good with R152A. I didn't know they actually... Well, I've never heard of R500. I never knew they mixed the two together to make like an actual commercial refrigerant, but that's neat. This is R152A, the stuff you spray, you know, for blowing out computers and stuff. And let's see here. Here you go. See, 152A. So that's neat. So this thing should perform very good. It's R12 and R152A, which is interesting. I thought they performed about the same. That must have something to do with the fact that they were in the process of banning R12 at this time. So, anyway, there's that information. It's made in Canada. Why is my camera not focusing? Made in Canada. Looks to be in good shape, no rusting or anything. Here's your, I guess, your bucket full switch. Kind of chintzy. And here's where you hook up a hose. It only has threads on half of it. Once again, kind of chintzy. Do not chew on power cords. We'll go ahead and reinstall the bucket here. And this thing's pretty lightweight. I wouldn't be surprised. Cat, you're right in the way. Go on. Now, don't get mad. I'm moving you. Okay. The screws on the front are loose. I noticed that when I was trying to carry it because I was going to pick it up from the front. So I'm just going to pull the front off. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing has a rotary in it. It's very lightweight and it doesn't make that clunking sound that reciprocating compressors normally make. If I didn't mention it, it was $10. So, either way, whatever. I gotta pull the knob off. Alright, what do we... Oh, no, it's a recip. Let me get a flashlight so we can see in there. It is a recip. Very round one. I don't see any branding on it. Of course, that would probably be on the other side, the side that I can't see. I can feel a sticker there. Doesn't look like any sort of compressor I've ever seen. I don't know what brand it is. This thing is very clean. I don't think it was used much. Look at that. Look in the fan here. In the coil. There's not really any dust to speak of. The fan doesn't really even have surface dust on it. Coil's a bit bent right there. Of course, this front was loose. Someone might have been in here. I don't know. What brand fan motor have we got? Ocean? Never heard of them. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and turn it on and see if it works. I'm going to turn the humidistat here to 0, so hopefully it won't. Yeah, it should be clicked off, so hopefully it won't turn on the second I plug it in here. Even the plug was made in Canada. Okay, smoke test. Well, I heard the compressor. Compressor is running. Yeah, this line's getting warm. I would suspect the other line is getting cool. Let's see. Oh yeah. Starting to. It's cold to about there. Oh yeah, it's getting cold. I can feel it. It's getting more and more over this way. Oh, it's almost to the edge. It's almost there. It's right to about here. Look at this. It's already collecting humidity. Look at the coil. Hold on, let me get this light. I don't know how well you can see that, but the surface of this is already wet. Yeah, this whole thing's cold now. So this thing's got a full charge on it. Look at my hand, it's wet. These old dehumidifiers are so much better. There is a thing, like if you look at new appliances, well, they almost all suck. Air conditioners, fans, all the new appliances suck. But for the most part, oh, look at this. Anyway, modern appliances suck, but for the most part, they do at least work, you know, for a reasonable amount of time. Like new air conditioners, they're cheaply made, they have electronic controls that suck, and they don't perform as good as the older ones. But they generally do work okay. And if you do take them apart and clean them like you're supposed to, they will last for 5 to 10 years, which isn't great, but given how cheap they are now, because that's the other thing people fail to realize, is that used to, just because I am moving around doesn't mean that you get to get mad. Anyway, you know, that's the other thing people fail to realize is that, look at this, it's already, I'm getting sidetracked, I need to go get a screwdriver. Anyway, what people fail to realize, and I know I've said this 3 times now and not finished my sentence, what people, okay, I'm going to stop now. Air conditioners, even like this Hot Point Quiet Air here, if you look back and adjust for inflation, the old ones cost a lot more than the new ones, and that goes for everything. That goes for box fans too. You know, people like to say, oh, the old Lakewood box fans are so much better. Well, yes, this is a $20 Lasco 3733. $20 as of today. The old Lakewood box fans cost about $20 when they were new. If you adjust that for inflation, it was about $70. People would have a fit if you tried selling them a $20 box fan. They would much rather have the $10 one, even if it's inferior. But where I'm going with this, air conditioners, fans, all of that suck. It all sucks now. But for what they cost, I think they do somewhat okay. I would much rather have a quality product, especially when I can buy a quality product like this here for $10, whereas a new one's a couple hundred. But even the new ones, for what they cost, aren't too terrible in many cases. Air conditioners, fans, stuff like that. What is a dehumidifier? It's a refrigerant system. It's got a compressor, got a condenser, got an evaporator. Got a compressor, obviously. I think I said that. It creates cold on this side, creates hot on that side. Of course, it's not creating anything. It's just moving heat from one place to another. This coil gets cold and collects water. That's what happens. What is an air conditioner? Well, it's literally the same exact thing, except for this hot coil, the one in the back there, would be outside of the house, and this cold coil would be inside. So, along with dehumidifying, it's also moving heat energy from inside to outside. This is the same thing, except it's all in one box and it's all inside, so it's not really moving any heat energy. It's just dehumidifying. But the components are the same exact thing. It does the same exact thing. However, dehumidifiers, for some reason these days, new dehumidifiers seem to be, out of all of the appliances like this, the worst ones out there. Like, there have been multiple recalls of dehumidifiers made by completely different companies that have been catching on fire, and you barely see them that last 3 or 4 years anymore. Like, I know someone there whose basement flooded. He bought a dehumidifier, and the damn thing lasted a little over a year before it leaked all its refrigerant out. Why is that? Why is it that an air conditioner and a dehumidifier are the same exact product, but for some reason, dehumidifiers these days are the absolute worst? Worse than air conditioners, worse than any modern appliances, dehumidifiers are the worst. Because it's the same exact thing. In fact, it's very basic design. I don't get it. Something like this, though, is much safer than a modern one, because the modern ones are catching fire. Something like this works better. Now, what people fail to realize, see, this is 25, I would imagine that means it's a 25 pint an hour dehumidifier. The new ones are rated absurdly. Like, the new ones, you'll see them, they're rated for like 50 pints an hour, you know, and you see some that are like in the 70s, and they're like, oh, the new ones they're so much better at dehumidifying, though. They get so much more water. No, they don't. Just like air conditioner BTU ratings, if you put a modern 5,000 BTU unit in the same area as a vintage 5,000 BTU unit, the vintage one's going to do much better. I had a vintage 5000 BTU, what was it, a GE Thinette. And this window here, it cooled all of this area just fine. In fact, it cooled it better than the central air did. That's only a 5000 BTU unit. These old ones are rated in the best possible conditions. Sort of like right now. There's air conditioning running in here. It's not very humid in this room right now. But within less than 3 minutes of this thing running, I mean, it's been more now, but you saw the water collecting. It was dripping off in 3 minutes. We've already got this much water coming out of it. I mean, it's a constant dripping, like it's drip, drip, drip. You see it. The new ones are not rated like that. You see, the new ones, I don't know exactly how they're rating them, but pretty much this is a 25 pint dehumidifier, meaning even in a room that does not need a dehumidifier, that is not humid at all, at the minimum, it will most likely do more. The new ones are pretty much, if this thing is in the middle of a swamp environment, it might pull what it's rated for. Anyway, I think we've let this thing run long enough to see that it's functioning properly. You can see even in here, this thing is very clean. There's a little bit of dust right there at the edge of that coil. But it's very clean. I would imagine that this, yeah, you can see here, it's got little clips here. Almost all of these have a filter that goes over here, and almost all of them are missing by now. So you just got to keep it clean. But, yeah, this thing's working quite well. Okay, note to self. If you remove the bucket while it's running, this thing flops around and tries to short cycle the compressor. Don't do that. That seems like a bad design. I mean, I get that you're not supposed to remove the bucket while it's running, but still seems like a bad design. Anyway, you think I've talked about this very basic appliance long enough? Yeah, there you go. It's in very good condition. This is, and I would not expect it, a dehumidifier from 1995. If you told me it was from 85, I would believe that more. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very...